Hello, everyone, and welcome to our new class, Data Analytics for IT Managers. I want to be clear that there's a reason why we named this class Data Analytics for IT Managers, because this class will really focus on your role as an IT manager or as a member of an IT department and how that relates back to conducting um, projects and experiments or whatever for people in the organization. So the idea is that we're going to prepare you in this class a little bit better for when your business leaders or stakeholders or whoever come to you and say, hey, I have a problem with data, or I have a problem that can be solved with data, or I have an opportunity that I would like to pursue. And then it will be your job or your role to take over from that point and help that stakeholder, help that business leader, because of the knowledge that you've gained through your experience and your skills. So we're going to look at things from that perspective. So really, your job as a member of an IT team. We're going to look at a new term also, and this term is going to be data science. And data science is really kind of just what I've described. It's helping business leaders solve problems where data is involved. So we'll in the first module we'll spend a lot of time talking about what a data scientist does and what data science is. And then as we've pushed further into the content, we will look more in depth at the specific roles and specific functions that a data scientist is responsible for. So we'll talk a little bit about stakeholder management. We'll talk about stakeholder needs. We'll talk about processing data files that your stakeholder may have given you to help you solve their problems. We'll talk about deploying models, and we'll talk about closing the loop. On that side of the course, we'll finish up with Module 6, where we'll talk about Internet of Things and also artificial intelligence as it is being implemented in business environments today. On the other side, we'll also take a look at some new data mining models. And these are models that we haven't talked about yet. I didn't make any videos for these, and I don't expect you to go into doing R code in these. I just want you to know what they are. And so those include things like decision trees. So decision trees very, very commonly used in probability analysis and forecasting. Time series, something that is around us all the time, where we actually try to predict or forecast what a particular value is going to be based on certain aspects of what it has been in the past. We'll talk about neural networks, and I'll give you an introduction to those. And then we're going to talk about text mining. So far, all the work that we've done, both in the data mining class and in this class, will have been around pretty structured data sets. But the vast majority of the data that we'll work with is going to be around or using data that is not structured. And text is the best example of that. We get tons of text messages, we get tons of emails, we get tons of documents. And there are data mining methods that will allow you to peruse through those and save thousands of hours of time by being able to implement algorithms that will pull out the useful and meaningful information. So this class has 6 modules, and each of the 6 modules will cover 2 things. One will be on the data science, data analyst side, and what your role will be as in that position. And the other will be to take a look at one of these new text mining models or data mining models. So you'll have an exercise for each one. It might be a discussion board for one, and then a practice exercise for the other one. A little bit about the textbook. We're going to fall back and use the data mining textbook. I think all of you who are in the class have it, so we're going to use it for the descriptions of decision trees, time series, neural nets, and text mining. I will find you other resources also, YouTube videos that I think are particularly good or documents that I want you to read through that will give you a little bit better idea of what it is I'm trying to get across in that particular module. The actual textbook for this class is more of a general book on data science and how data science is being implemented in the business field. We'll read parts of it, but I think other parts of it are unnecessarily mathy for this particular course. And a good example is going to be in Chapter 3. They start talking about the use of entropy in order to be able to select the right variables to build your model. That goes into a whole lot of mathy stuff that I just don't feel like we have time to cover. So we'll be very targeted, very specific about what we cover in this class from that book. So that's our class, an introduction to our class. If you have any questions, always let me know. And I'm always available on email. And have a great quarter.